sportsnetusa.net, and we are here with Modesto Junior College women's golf coach Milan Motroni. She has helped the Modesto Pirates to back-to-back state championships with her coaching and their third CCCAA State Women's Golf Championship, winning by 2 strokes over College of the Canyons. And first off, I'd like to just say congratulations for the victory.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now, going into the second round or the second day of competition, after the first round, College of the Canyons had just an enormous lead over everybody. Did that have an effect? It didn't seem to have an effect on your team, but do you think that had effect on some of the other teams?
Um, yeah, I think it possibly could have. I mean, with us, we really we didn't want to focus too much on the deficit. We wanted to just coach, tell the girls, you can really do well the next day. You know how to play this course, and just go out there and have fun and do well, and whatever comes of it comes of it. And I think possibly, especially when you go into something with a lead, sometimes the players tend to get complacent, like, oh, we have a 19-point lead over the defending state champions. It's like, okay, this will be smooth sailing. And it could have affected that. The conditions were pretty tough on the greens for everyone, but I know our girls just buckled down and really came through in the second day.
Now, there were only 14 rounds in the 2 days of competition that were in the 70s for all the teams and all the individual players who also were there at the championship. And your squad shot 4 of those uh, rounds in the 70s in the final round. So that was really something that I would guess really propelled your team into the championship.
Yeah, it really also showed how well-rounded our team was. A lot of the college teams come in and they have, their top two or three girls are pretty consistent, pretty solid players. But we every all year round we've been playing where all of our players have contributed in one way or another, and it really came through when our number 6 came in with a 79. So it showed that.
Now, if I'm understanding how this works, as a team, you can take 6 players, and how many of the scores get counted for each round?
Yeah, so for each round, you play 6 players, and the top 4 scores of your team count for the round. So, like, in our first day, certain players contributed, and then the second day, different players can contribute as well, depending on how they score. And our team's really well balanced. All the girls at one day or another can shoot well, and it just proved it that second day when my number 6 player came through, and my number 4 as well, etc.
Now, you mentioned earlier that your players knew the course, and when you won in 2021, you played at Cypress Ridge, and then this year they moved the state championship back to Morro Bay. And I would say I go out on the golf course. Whether I play golf or not, that could be debatable. But I have played at Morro Bay, a very nice golf course, worth the drive to Morro Bay from wherever you are in California to play that course. Uh, could you tell us some of the differences between the two courses, Cypress Ridge and Morro Bay, as competitively speaking?
Well, Cypress Ridge is a little shorter course as well. But what's challenging with Cypress Ridge is there's some actually hilly parts of it to that course because it's more in kind of the valley area, and also it's very narrow compared to Morro Bay. But then when you go to Morro Bay, the challenge really is the greens, your short game. And Cypress Ridge, the short game, there were a lot lower scores. One of my girls were low 70s last year at Cypress Ridge, and here with the greens being so difficult in terms of the putting and everything else, the scores were quite a bit higher because it was a little more challenging in that respect.
As we mentioned at the beginning, your team has won 3 state championships in golf. Mount Sac has won 5. Desert has won 5. They shared one year, and Canyons has 4. Santa Barbara City College has 4 overall since they keeping score at least from going back to I think it's 1992, 94, somewhere in there. There have only been 5 wins by teams from the northern section. Is there kind of a, because here at sportsnetusa.net we cover a lot of different sports, is there kind of a, north south kind of thing going in golf too, where I'll just have to say it straight out that the Southern California teams think they're better than the Northern California teams?
There's always been kind of a rivalry, and I think just this, in terms of the populace with the Southern California areas, there's so many more golf courses and so many more golfers, so to speak, because of the area. And I think they come in knowing that, especially the weather wise too, that they can play golf practically year round. And the weather is a little tougher here in the winter time and things like that. So we're always kind of looking at it as, okay, the north versus south thing. But it's kind of nice that the north has kind of proved themselves, that there are some talented golfers in this area, uh, not just Southern California, which has produced some talented golfers in its own right. But yeah, it's kind of pleasing to bring these types of championships, because I think the last time Modesto really had a golf run was, believe it or not, I'm Modesto Junior College is 100 years old. They've been around, and they had a good men's golf run in the 50s. They were back-to-back champions, and then a couple of years before that, they won the championship. So I think that was the last time that there was some dominance in the North.
Now, men's golf, you are also the men's coach too, correct? For Modesto?
Correct. Yes, I took that over a little over 3 years ago, the men's golf team. So
What do you see as the differences between, coaching the men, coaching the women?
uh, there, I would say it's really interesting because the the women, when they're playing golf, they're very well focused, and but outside of the golf course, they have a life. They're doing things. It's funny, the men's team, they could talk about golf 24/7 and be happy about it. And with the women, I'm constantly going, okay, we need to practice here, go here, and getting them, oh, okay, I have time for that. And the men, it's like, when do I come out? Can I golf 18 more holes? I just did 18. And it's a little different mindset. The focus is there for both of them, but they kind of think through it a little differently, since golf's so kind of mental and analytical at times. So
As a golf coach, I've noticed in the golf scores, you have players, and we're not necessarily talking about the Modesto Pirates. We're just talking about community college teams that are here in California. You'll have some teams that have a great player that can, as you were alluding to, that can shoot under par or right around par. But on the same team, you could have, your number 5 and number 6 players, they're at, triple figures. How do you approach it as a coach where you have some golfers who are very accomplished and other golfers who are not as accomplished? I mean, is it part coaching and instructor, or how does that work for you?
uh, so yeah, in terms of that type of coaching, it's really, the drills are all the same. With the girls, we my assistant coach, it has played on the senior women's open tour, etc. So she really is knowledgeable in terms of the drills, and she sets it up so even those less skilled so to speak, can really gain from doing the drills and working out on the golf course. And then the ones a little more skilled, we can show them a little more advanced drills and technique and course management things. So they're going to gain and grow from it. Our goal is really for these 2 years is to get these girls accomplished golf wise, but also academically so they can move on to a 4 year college. If they want to continue to play golf, they can. If not, they have their experience here at the community college level that they'll always cherish and remember. So
Do you have some potential young ladies that are going to move up to the next level and play
I
golf
really do.
also?
Yeah, my top three girls are currently being looked at from various schools in California and out of state. So their goal is to move on, and they're academically ready to transfer as well. So it's kind of a good situation in both respects.
And we have to always emphasize, as we do here at sportsnetusa.net, that they are student athletes. So one of the big things is getting those good grades. And it seems like the women's teams overall, the athletes seem to perform better in the classroom. And it's so important that personally, I think it's fair as to what kind of academic achievements people need to do to continue to play sports. And I think that coaches like you and other coaches that continue to press their players to get good grades, because after a while you can't play the sport that you love. I mean, when you get older, or your skill level is going to diminish somewhat. You could still play it, but not at the level you were at one time. And those academic skills are what's going to get you ahead in life.
Right, right. And I'm proud to say that we even applied for the all scholar team for the CCAA for my girls this last year because their GPAs were extremely good. So it's really nice to just see that transformation that on both on the golf course and in the classroom. So it makes them very well rounded as well.
We mentioned the two courses that were played in the last 2 years for the state championship. Where does Modesto, what's your home course for your home conference games, matches?
Uh, our main home course is Turlock Country Club. They've been very we've been very well received here. They even hung our championship banners there, and just they're very well accommodating, and the girls get to work out here and play here as well. We also play at a few other different courses in the area, Oakdale Country Clubs, Spring Creek, and Del Rio. But yeah, Turlock Country Club is our home course.
So, what can we expect for 2023 with the Modesto women's golf team? Are we looking for back to back to back to back or something like that? A
I
three-peat?
would I would love that. My goal, of course, is as long as we're competitive, anything can happen, and that's really the key.
Well, we don't want to take up too much of your time today, but we thank you very much, Lon, for dropping in electronically
Oh,
and talking to us about your victory, the third one that the Modesto Pirates have won, and back to back 2021, 2022.
I appreciate it, and thank you very much.